How's everybody doing? We're back. It's been a long day. We've been working on this chipper. Whew. And it's muggy out. Bad. So, we've been redoing all this in here. I've been redoing it all new belts. But the trick is we had to change these two. Put two new ones on here. That was running one before, and the alternator belt wasn't any good. Well, to get to those, you gotta take off your two radiator belts and the two belts on the other side of the motor. It's like this, but on that side of the motor. So you gotta take off all six to get to that seventh belt right there. And yeah, that's what it looks like. So that's been my project for the last couple hours. I'm gonna tell you what. And then the fan wouldn't come down far enough to get the belts off because the shroud was holding it up. So I had to take the bolts off the shroud so it could come down. Just, let me tell you, it's been work to get that done. But we're getting all kinds of other stuff done. Fixed some stuff under the cab. Got the bearing on. Oh, you can't see it. Up in there. Oh, there's no bearing on it yet. Maybe we were waiting for one. But that bearing was out. Replacing that one, and then here's been the major project. I thought we were running something over. We'll see how long it can make it. Most entertainment we've had all day. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Entertainment at its finest. Look at that pretty thing. Tractor got some new tires on her. It's just sticky humid out today. But no, we got to tighten them up. You got to get in there and do that. And it's all work. Getting all those belts off is all work. So that's what we're doing today. We'll come back at you at the end of the day and we'll see where we're at. But just plugging away one thing at a time. But that's what I've been working on for the last little while, and it's irritating me, but we'll make it. We threw that on there. Just little stuff. I want to fix the guard here too, but Chipper's getting some work done to her. She's pretty cleaned off. We have some belly pan leakage. We talked about that before down in there, so we did some work in there. We'll see how it works out. I'm not sure. We're getting a bunch of dust and crap out here. Trying to seal that off. We're just trying to fix up every little thing we come across. But Brian's working on the valve bank over there. And then Top Dog is working on the manifold gaskets, and then I'm working on this, and Jeremy was working on that. Everybody's just busy. So yeah, we adjusted the clutch. We did that too. So it's been a day. It's the end of the day. We're done. Everybody's taken off. We got truck getting washed, but we got her all put back together. I went back to get our 800 came off. So there's them all put back on there. Everything's snugged up, ready to go. So got the two new belts on here and the new belt on there. That thing's a little kitty wampus. I don't know what to do. Anyways, that's thrown back together. Shrouds put back on. Everything's snugged up down here just beautifully. And yeah, oil's changed. All that's done. New filters. We gotta wait for parts tomorrow. Those have been swapped out, so we took it apart, and those will be here tomorrow at 2 o'clock, which kind of stinks. Nobody around us has anything. So it's put together as much as we can there today. I can't do no more. Everything's topped off. It's got fuel filters. This thing's ready to go. Worked a lot on this today. Got the pressures right. The pressures were a little bit messed up, so the pressure here was too much, way too much, and so we got that fixed. We'll see when we got her done. We had to take out that right there. Oh, you can't see it. Change the springs out on that valve, so hopefully everything's got the right pressure now. Me and Brian actually went through a little secret and marked everything, so we know where everything's at. So that's a little easier now to kind of see where everything's at there. Easier to test pressures and do that kind of stuff. So yeah, I like that. And we did the relief valves are like that too. So we did all that. Tracked down some hoses, got that done. Clutch got adjusted. We just did a lot of work to her today. A little easier. And we should be ready to rock and roll. Once we get that put back together, we'll by the time we get the parts for that, we'll have everything else we need. Wanted to redesign that cover for the back of the conveyor here. I want to redesign that so those are different size bolts. So you gotta have two different wrenches to take them off, and then this one, yeah, I don't like that design either. So we're gonna redesign that tomorrow. Come up with something better. That does not work for us, so we'll redesign that. But let's go out back. We got a little special treat, field trip time, and see what's out there, because this is gonna get interesting. So we're out back. We was working in the shop the last couple days, and I spotted from the shop that tire on there. And they have been working on these skidders to get them ready to ship for a while, and I said, is that tire thrown on the arches back there? And they said, you gotta go look at it, it's pretty interesting. And so I said, I'll go back there. So we're back here now. These skidders are gonna be put on a train, I believe, and then put on a boat, and they're heading out of here. But we gotta get a video first, because this is pretty, I like the way this is done. You know how you always come across weird things that's pretty genius? There's a couple genius things on here. I started off running this machine, oh boy, it was a while back, and I caught that one on fire a long while back. But anyways, these are getting shipped, so they're ready to ship out of here. But there's just a couple things that are just like, yeah, I like that. It's a good way to ship something, and you'll spot it pretty quick. These are all just different things that are getting shipped with the machine, but they welded them all onto the machine. So yeah, they just welded everything together, and I like it. It's pretty ingenious to weld everything together. You don't have to strap none of that down, but that's all welded. That's for the front trunnion of that machine there. Then there's a transmission there. I'm not sure which one got the new one, but one of them got the new one. But that's actually the transmission on those were the only things reliable in those machines. I hate that Cummins in there. I think I've discussed before. I'm not a fan of the Cummins at all. In machinery, in pickup trucks is different. I hate them in machinery. That's just what it is. The Tiger Cat's got one in it, I guess, and that's been okay. But I don't know. These two things here, I had to run them with Cummins in them, and they gave us fits all the time. We were always fiddling with something and couldn't keep them cool, yada yada yada. But the transmissions were as tough as nails in these things. You could run them out every day and just put more fluid and just take off. They'd keep going, and I mean, they were strong. So they got that strapped on there, that stuff welded on there. They're ready to go. So yeah, I said, man. Then they had a couple spare tires, so they just strapped them on the back. It's got some new rubber on them. And yeah, they just strapped them on the back, and it's just that simple. So they're ready to ship. And yeah, I thought it was pretty genius how they did a couple things on these to ship them over the water. You know what I mean? Like, they're not using these cylinders anymore. Or no, they do use the cylinders, but they could pull it up tighter if they unhooked them. So they unhooked them, pulled that up tighter, so that wasn't sticking out back further. Yeah, just a couple. I like the thinking behind it. They're ready to go. So, and there's spare cylinders kicking around for it. But yeah, that's their main use now. Is they're going to be winching everything. So it'll be a cable skidder. But I can't tell you how many carrier bearings I put in those things. Oh, I hated taking them drive shafts apart. Oh, drive shafts and U-joints and carrier bearings, and tighten them bolts down in there was not easy, because before you had a valve bank up here because of your stuff in the back. So they don't have none of that there anymore because they don't need it. And so you couldn't get down there from here. Oh, it was just... I believe there was a valve bank, was there? I believe there was. I could be wrong. I don't know, but you couldn't tighten them things down there with beans. Oh, I'm not going to miss them at all. Let's just say I'm not going to miss them at all. But they're going to work good for their application and what they're getting used for. So yeah, that one's got a little protector over it, and you can look at that sweet carrier bearing down there, and just, I'm not going to miss you guys at all. Nope. But anyways, just thought I'd make a quick video. Just end around a field trip out back. Yeah, that's kind of what's going on. 12 volt, and that's where the batteries are hidden in there. So the old 660C. This thing was a workhorse when I first started here. I mean, it was a horse when I started, and then the motor blew up about a year and a half later, and that motor that was in it never was as good as the first one. Never had as much power as the first one. But boy, we've had some wonderful times in these machines. Sweating in them, no air conditioning. Oh, yeah. Good times, but no, that was a stronger machine there. That 660 was at one time. The old 560s, those were like a few and far between machine, I think. There's not a whole lot of them kicking around. We had two of them, and they're gone. So what did we have? We had one for parts, didn't we? Yeah. We had one for parts, and then this one was put together. So they got them all fixed up. I mean, they did a lot of work to these to get them ready to go where they're going. So it should work pretty good for them, I think. I think they're all rubbered up and ready to go. But they don't serve us much purpose no more. And the birds, they hold a bunch of birds' nests in them. And the birds love to build a nest right in there. We gotta love that design. And start it up and catch fire and blow fire out all over, and that's always a mess. I never ever was a fan of the mufflers under the hood either. They just got everything hot up there. Hot, hot, hot. And yeah. Yep. That's about it. Never a fan of that. That was just a goofy design. But that was a workhorse at one time. That pulled that Timberjack pulled a lot of wood. Let's just say that. That pulled a lot of wood for years for this company. So the old relics. Moving on down the road. See you later. no love lost. But just keep rolling. Even if you got to move across the ocean to keep moving. So they'll work. And then somebody tried to, oh, that was a bad deal too. Somebody tried to fix the windshield in them, like buff them out or something. And then guys couldn't run it because they said they get headaches because they couldn't see because it was messing with your eyes. Yeah, that was that was another mess. I forgot all about that, but that wasn't cool. But we'll catch all you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. We are out of here for the day. So hopefully you guys will have a great day. We'll catch you later in another episode. So.